All right, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Makah, Dash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Melson of Well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and blessings to the sincere brothers and sisters, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. For the most part, we're just going to ignore the RT. I was trying to scroll through and see what was going on, but I really want to focus your attention on this here. Okay, you see simple sabotage field manual. You can make your own assumption on what three-letter agency may or may not use these tactics. I'm going to be very vague, but if you're in the spirit, you know. And many brothers and sisters have said the same thing. You can find them being exposed all over TikTok. Okay, them invading countries and inciting certain acts and replacing governments with their own trained puppets, right, for the betterment or forward of Babylon the Great, so they can act in the interest of Babylon the Great. Okay, so I'm going to be very vague, so I want you to pay attention to this, and I want you to pay attention to that. 5G dub, okay, conducted primarily through non-kinetic. All right, so kinetic means to move, kinetic energy, right? That's where you get it from. So non-kinetic is something that you're not mobilizing an army. All right, so let's just here it is right here. Kinetic military action is a euphemism for military action involving active warfare, including lethal force. The phrase is used to contrast between conventional military kinetic and action from soft force, increasingly used against enemies, including diplomacy, sanctions, and cyber warfare. Okay. Now, what are some examples of your 5th gen? Social engineering, okay, is a top-down effort. Okay, so it comes, you got the Tavistock Institute and those think tanks that you have over in the UK, or maybe there's some here. They collude together. One might even say they're conspirators, and they come up with some bull and then they push it out and they just keep pushing and keep pushing, and it seems a little crazy at first, and then next thing you know, you got people fighting for it. Like Moism was absurd 30 years ago, and now look, I mean, it's unraveled so far that people are fighting for he to be she and she to be him and him to be they and them to be their. All that, it's just confusion. Okay, the top-down effort to influence particular attitude and social behavior on a large scale, most often undertaken by governments, but also carried out by media, academia. What do I always say? When they push a narrative, it goes through academia because you need the mind of the children and the women because the women raise the children. So on an off note, when women complain about where are all the good men, well, you raise the very men that you hate because there is no father figure, or you do not allow that masculine energy. Okay, so all of these things have metastasized into what you see today. Complete and utter confusion, garbage, perverseness, wickedness, complete and total iniquity. Basically Sodom and Gomorrah behavior. As Elder Yashawan with the Dallas camp puts, flood behavior. All right, so the crazy things that were going on for the Lord to flood the earth are happening again. And Yahushua did say that, as in the days of Noah, right? So shall the coming of the Son of Man be. You can get that. But before we continue, I want to get a couple of things real quick. Let's see. Deliver thyself. So this is parental counsel, right? And you can liken this unto physically father and son, or you can liken this unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, or Yahweh being our father and passing instruction, right? And we use these precepts to curtail, or not curtail, that's not the proper word, but to we use these scriptures as a basic outline for our life, and to cut out the things that the scriptures say to cut out, and to work in and pray on and have faith about the things that it says to do. Okay, and you can also liken it unto how I'm going to go in just a second. Just let me find exactly where I wanted to start. Provide her meat in the summer. Naughty person, a wicked man. Oh, I had it right here. Okay. All right. So Proverbs 6:16. Okay. So the Lord is the Father of spirits, right? Even although He's chosen Israel to be His portion, right? He controls all. He is the Father of all the spirits. So since this devil in the inception of this country decided to take on these laws, statutes, and commandments and pretend to be who they are not, now they're going to be held to that standard, which is why Babylon the Great, which is linked to Edom being the ruler of Babylon the Great, pursuant to the book of Psalms 132, their punishment is going to be just and fitting, and frankly, I speak as a man, not coming soon enough. These 6 things doth Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. And look at the things that perfectly describe Esau, Edom, and that is why in the scriptures it says, wherein have thou, we'll get that too. Let's read this. A proud look, we'll double it. Is it Esau have I hated? Or Edom? It probably won't even come up like that. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. That's Romans 9:13. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Now forbid, okay. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Okay, so that is why he hated Esau. Why? Because he fits the bill for these things. A proud look, a lying tongue, that's a big one, and hand that shed innocent blood. Come on now, I don't even need to get examples for any of these things. And a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies. And what did he do? And he that soweth discord among brethren. Okay, and what did he do here? With the false witness that speaketh lies, because if you go, let's hit Revelation, and I always forget the exact chapter on where I need to be. I believe it's you. Right, what did he go do? Freed and doomed. All right, and when the 1,000 years were expired, this is Revelation 20:7. Satan, who is the physical counterpart, when they're speaking about this is Esau, Edom. This is the so-called white man, the adversary. Okay, not the spiritual demon Satan. All right, he shall be loosed from his prison, and he shall go out and deceive the nations, lying tongue, which are in the 4 quarters of the earth. That lying tongue. What about what is Renaissance? What is breeding factories? What is pretending to be a Native American? What is $5 Indian? Right? All right, we can go on and on about or what is gelding a man? What is hanging a man and cutting off his genitals? What else we gotta go? All right. So while we have these, let's finish this out on this portion here. Okay. Misinformation. Let's read that because we know what it is, but we're gonna read it anyway. Misinformation refers to the false or misleading information. The spread of misinformation can often have significant negative consequences for individuals and society. Indeed, even the term itself can be weaponized, selectively targeting opposing viewpoints and seeking to delegitimize. That's why it's cut off. Delegitimize alternative sources of information. I mean, if you've been in this truth for any amount of time, right? Now you got your quote unquote fact checkers to label anything misinformation, anything that is of another viewpoint. And these examples that you see are happening before you, so I don't even need to go into it. Okay, cyber attack is an offensive maneuver targeting computer information systems, computers, networks, infrastructure, personal computers. Okay, all right. Process that attempts to access data, function, or other restrictive areas. Now, you can even like it. Now, cyber attack has various layers, and that really isn't the point of the video. But you can even, on a more small scale, you can even liken a cyber attack unto them farming and mining your information, monitoring everything that you do on your phone and on your computer, and targeted ads, right? All these different things. Okay, along with emerging technologies such as AI, and we're gonna see some interesting things coming for us out of this whole movement, right? Because not only do you have ChatGPT that is turning into something a little bit bigger, but you also have these deep fakes with audio and visual. So for those who aren't trained to look at or to decipher or to better determine what is what, whether something is real or not, and folks can be confused, folks can be fooled, right? And that's why it says that in the last days, even the very elect, if it were possible, if it were possible, let's leave it at that. Give me some. Come on. Matthew 24:24. And you can liken that unto that because they can fake a lot of things. For there shall arise false anointed and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But the operative term here is if it were, and it ain't. But that just goes to show you the level of deception that is coming. All right. Okay. AI, we read. And fully autonomous systems. Oh, so, okay. And I just said it. All right. Autonomous robot. Acts without recourse to human control. The first autonomous robot environment we know as Elmer and Elsie were constructed in the late 40s. And they were first robots in history that were programmed to think the way. Man, open up. Think the way biological brains do and meant to have free will. Okay. Self-driving. Okay, so yeah, we don't really need that. But where was I at? Okay, yeah. All right, and autonomous systems. Okay, fifth generation warfare has been described by Daniel Abbott as the war of information and perception. There's no widely agreed upon definition. All right, and it has been rejected by some scholars who was one of the original theorists of the fourth generation. Okay, now you have that. If you want to go deeper into 5GW, 5G dub, you can do that. But I'm just kind of skimming over the top, and you make the connection to all the things that you see. It's very, very easy to make the connection. I guarantee it is, because you are watching it unfold before your very eyes. Now, here we have a field manual of simple sabotage. What are we on, page 5? Let me scroll up. Let's see what the title. Office of Strategic Services. You see it, field manual number 3. Okay. Alright, let's go back to where we were. And I'm just going to read a couple of things out of here. I will remember to put this in the description box. If I don't, just type in simple sabotage, field manual. Here are your possible effects. Now, I want you to connect the dots here. I'm not going to do it. You connect the dots on what you read and what you have. If you have a decent knowledge about geopolitics and America's foreign policy. Okay, acts of simple sabotage occurring throughout Europe, and effort should be made to add to their efficiency. Let me scoot this off a little bit. Alright, lessen their detectability and increase their number. Acts of simple sabotage multiplied by thousands of citizen saboteurs can be an effective weapon. So, I mean, maybe an example of like women. Was it? I'm guessing it was Saudi. I can't remember. How it was a big fuss about how women aren't allowed to drive by themselves or something like that, and now you have women, throwing off their hijab in act of defiance. So, you drink of the wine of the wrath of destruction, or should I say, you drink of the wine of Babylon, right? You partake in her sins, you accept her philosophy, and watch your country or your nation unfold. So you have that, or controlling the radio stations of certain places and implanting little seeds in the minds of the people, and you just keep on repeating it until something sticks, and then you have somebody act on that, and next thing you know, the hive mind is initiated. And I'm being vague on purpose because you need to put it together. No. Effective weapon. Okay. Slashing tires, draining fuel tanks, starting fires, starting arguments, acting stupidly. What the hell? Don't play. Short-circuiting electric systems. I don't know what that is. Abrading. I think that's abrading machine parts will waste materials, manpower, and time. Okay, so you have just pretty much have folks focus on something else. Do something to screw something up so they can focus on fixing what's screwed instead of fixing what the real problem is. I wonder, why does this sound so familiar? I don't know, like those Black Lives Matter root riots, and they kept getting exposed. A term you could use as is agent provocateur. All right, let's see. Simple Sab will be a constant and tangible drag on the war effort. War effort of what? War effort of the enemy. Okay. May also have secondary results of more or less value. Widespread practice of simple Sab will harass and demoralize enemy administrators and police. Further success may embolden the citizen Sab eventually to find colleagues who can assist him in Sab of greater dimension. Finally, the very practice of Sab by native in enemy-occupied territory may make these individuals identify themselves actively with UN war effort and encourage them to assist openly in periods of Allied invasion and occupation. Interesting, ain't it? Oh, too far. Damn. How do you motivate them? Alright, to incite the citizen. Staying of a period is a special problem, okay? Simple Sab is often an act which citizen performs according to his own initiative and inclination. So basically you need to put the seed in their mind and make it seem like that's what they wanted to do. That's what they should be doing. Alright, so acts of destruction do not bring him any personal gain and may be completely foreign to his habitually conservationist attitude. Alright, purposeful stupidity is contrary to human nature. He frequently needs pressure, stimulation, or assurance and information and suggestions regarding feasible methods. This is interesting, ain't it? All right, I don't want to read the whole thing. We've gone. This is about 20 minutes. Okay. Um, you can pull this up on your own and continue. But before I end it, let's see if there's something that just kind of sticks out. All right. Let's see. For committing simple, instead, he must be made to anticipate indirect personal gain. Hmm. Oh, okay. Well, that's it. I think we can close it out here. We left off on page 5 if you're gonna look this up on your own. But yeah, connect those dots. You see, very very interesting. The things that you see here. There was one other scripture that I wanted to get before I closed out, and I cannot remember. Uh, man. Dang it. Okay. Well, if it comes to me, I will put that also in the description box. But again, you should look these things up on your own. This is just was a quick little lesson for you to spark your, maybe give a little spark to your spirit if the Lord sees fit to do so. If He sees fit to allow me to do that for you, then I am greatly blessed. So, with that being said, shalom.